Please help support the channel by visiting our Amazon store, affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and Justice League dropped today. I don't know about you. I've already seen it. I quite enjoyed it, but there was one thing about the movie that was really bothering me all the way through it, and I'm not the only one, apparently. And I said this in my review for the film last night, is this movie made me really want Zack Snyder to come back and release his version of the film. Now, there was a rumored 3-hour cut of Justice League that he shot, and that apparently didn't do as well as they wanted it to. But fans want to see it, and I think fans at this point in time are deserving to see it. To be perfectly honest with you, Batman v Superman's theatrical cut was absolutely castrated by somebody at Warner Brothers, and the Justice League 2-hour cut that is currently in theaters was apparently directly ordered by the CEO of Warner Brothers himself, Kevin Tsujihara. And that is unacceptable. I'm sorry, that's absolutely unacceptable as far as these films are concerned, because 2 hours was simply not enough time. Now, the movie turned out well, don't get me wrong, far better than the Batman v Superman extended cut, or I'm sorry, the Batman v Superman theatrical cut, whereas the extended cut really filled in a lot of plot holes, and fans loved it, as I pointed out before, and I will continue to point this out until somebody at Warner Brothers absolutely understands this. There's a reason Batman v Superman Extended spent 5 weeks at the #1 spot of home video sales. I'm just reminding you, because here's where we find ourselves right now. So there's a petition going on for fans, from fans asking that Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League be released. Now, I have said this multiple times, that I felt that Zack Snyder was really screwed over by Warner Brothers in the fallout from Batman v Superman, and he took it in stride. When Batman v Superman came out and failed to do what they wanted it to do, not only commercially but critically, and the response from the fans, he took the brunt of all of it, and it wasn't his fault. He was like, okay, I'll take it, I'll continue working. Then, of course, they basically kind of pulled him as being the head of the DCEU. They brought in Jeff Johns, made Ben Affleck an executive producer who was going to oversee the edit on Justice League. Then stuff with Ben Affleck happened, and they needed to reshoot parts of the movie because Warner's, I don't think, was enjoying where it was going, or they wanted to be more bright and more poppy. And as a result of that, they brought in Joss Whedon, reshot quite a large percentage of the film, and believe it or not, that is extremely noticeable. And we'll talk about this too, because anyway, it says here that Zack Snyder's Justice League, there's spoilers, by the way, I just want to make this abundantly clear going forward, there'll be spoilers ahead. Zack Snyder's Justice League changed considerably over the course of its production and post-production process. Between many significant behind-the-scenes changes at DC Entertainment, as well as the decision to bring in Joss Whedon to finish the film, it's beginning to look more and more like Snyder's original vision for the movie was altered by the time the blockbuster debuted. Now it seems like some fans want to see what could have been, as a petition to release a director's cut of the film is gaining traction online. And yeah, I wholeheartedly support that, by the way. I wholeheartedly, 100% behind that petition. I want to see it. I don't know if it's going to be any better, but I want to see it. Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder are two prolific directors in their own right, but both with extremely different visual styles. And you know, given what we've seen with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman and Wonder Woman and Suicide Squad, there was a certain tonality that was completely upended for Justice League. And I know that's what they were going for, but at the same time, man, the movie started off and it looked way too clean to me. And I even said that to my girlfriend. I felt like I was on a set. It didn't feel like it was set in reality. It felt like it was a movie set, you know, and she kind of noticed it too. But then again, we saw it in 3D, and the 3D might have been a little bit too clean and not as gritty. Anyway, it says here that this Change.org petition makes it abundantly clear that a large segment of the DCEU fanbase wants to see Justice League restored to Zack Snyder's original unabridged version, complete with a junky XL score that accompanied the movie before Danny Elfman stepped in as the film's composer. Those are some large, that's a large order. That's a tall order. I thought Elfman did good. I do want to hear Junkie XL's score, but complete with the film, because I liked it in Batman v Superman quite a bit. But I really also liked Danny Elfman. So I'm of two minds on that one. Like, yeah, I think curiosity-wise, I'd like to see it, but I'm not going to demand it. The primary complaints presented from this petition seem to be the fact that Justice League suffered because of its short 2-hour runtime, as well as the fact that changes made to the film don't reflect it as the final leg of a trilogy that started with Man of Steel and continued with Batman v Superman. In the eyes of the folks running this petition, Justice League isn't Star Wars: A New Hope. It needs more room to breathe so it can flesh out its characters, and that is true. It's hard to have an ensemble where you're introducing essentially 3 new members into a team, all of whom have very large, back catalogs of stories and plot development and character development over the years, and fit that all into 2 hours. There's a reason why Marvel did each individual had a lead-in movie to this thing. There's a reason why they did that. And we know that now, and we see that now, and so, yeah, fans, I think, of DCEU really want to see this. An extended cut of Justice League doesn't necessarily seem outside of the realm of possibility at this point. After all, Batman v Superman was arguably improved by the inclusion of the Ultimate Edition home release, while Suicide Squad was arguably made worse by its extended cut. That is true. I completely agree. Suicide Squad's extended cut was not... the stuff that they added in didn't need to be there. It wasn't plot device stuff. It was just odds and ends of scenes and a couple little things here and there that, well, yes, it gave us more of the Joker and Harley. It didn't really benefit the overall story. Whereas Batman v Superman gave us a lot more Clark Kent investigating everything and also leading into the entire subplot with Lex Luthor and setting up Superman. There was a lot of that going on, stuff that needed to be there, which I think there was stuff here that was condensed enough to where it worked, but still could have been really expanded upon. A Snyder-centric recut of Justice League would definitely be a tall order for DC Entertainment, but that's not impossible for fans to will it into existence. As publishing this article, the petition is well over halfway to its goal of 5,000 signatures. It needs to get a lot of signatures. There needs to be a lot of signatures, and the likelihood of it getting a lot of signatures, I would say, it could maybe hit 100,000, but that's still going to be, there's not a lot of. Justice League's being viewed as kind of like middle of the road, so it's people aren't really clamoring at the heels of Warner's to make it better. You know what I mean? They're just kind of going okay, it's passable, we'll accept it, is essentially what's going to be happening here. And the reason why they did that is because they want people to go back and see it again. But again, I've read reviewers on Twitter that have already gone and seen it 2 or 3 times, and they really like it the more they watch it. So maybe it is a movie that gets better the more you watch it. Again, it wasn't bad. I quite enjoyed it, but I wanted Batman v Superman, especially the "Do you bleed" part in Justice League. I was like, oh god, I love that bit. Anyway, so you only need to take a look at the trailers for Justice League to get a sense of how the film has evolved. Since we got a good look at it at San Diego Comic-Con 2016, I was in the room for that when they premiered it. It was awesome. Some sequences shown off in the marketing campaign were nowhere to be found by the time the film debuted. There's a bunch of cool moments here, but basically it's kind of let me show you the key thing here. This popped up on Reddit, where on the left you got Snyders Vision, and on the right you got Whedon's vision. And so in the original trailers, you've got this shot here of Aquaman going in the water. You can see Snyder's distinct visual style all the way through. And then especially this bottom one here, I didn't even realize this. I was wondering why Affleck had a fatter face in the movie. He did. He had a fatter face. I didn't even realize that as I was watching it, consciously, subconsciously, I was like, he looks a little bit different. But it was looking at from here. I mean, let me just zoom in on this one. You can see this is him from the original trailer that they showed us, and then this is the same scene, either with Affleck reshot into it CG or whatever, or they just rebuilt it. I mean, it looks similar but also different. It's just, that's a big thing right there. Affleck here with the beard, right? And then he's got clearly a fatter face, and the lighting is entirely different. They're using even a different lens to shoot it. You can tell because of how the elongation on his face is. Different lenses will make your face look differently. That's why I'm using a 70D with a decent lens to make this as sexy as possible. But this look here, I mean, even then, look how thin he looks compared to how big he is here. I mean, he packed on some pounds and didn't have time to shed it, and they figured no one would notice. In fact, most of the scenes with him were completely reshot. Same here with Jason Momoa as Aquaman. It's just, you can see that there's a difference. Even his tattoos look relatively drawn on here, and they look good here too, but you can see that it looks like they're a bit more rounded here and everything else. The whole idea there essentially is that Warner's changed so much about this movie, and fans want to see this cut, this whatever it may be, however long it may be. There's a rumored 3-hour cut, like I said, but they want to see this. And I think at this point, Warner's owes it to fans to show them this cut. And given everything that happened with Zack Snyder, with his daughter and everything, the tragedy there, you know, you understand why they did what they did. You understand the shakeup at DC Entertainment and why things changed. But man, I felt that was the biggest thing missing from the movie was Zack Snyder. And given the fact that he angered a lot of people, you know, with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, it's grown a following since then. And fans very much want to see it. So I'm going to link to it below. I'm going to link to the petition. I want you guys to go check it out. I'm going to go sign it myself. If you want to see it, sign it. If not, that's cool. But either way, leave your comments below. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this one. You know, and if you haven't already, jump into our Discord. Link below will also be in the video description. Come on in, check that out. It's got a lot of movie conversation going on. Get a good community going on there. And I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.